Peace to the family, peace, y'all. Welcome. What's good with you on this Sunday afternoon? Peace, love, and light. Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Greetings, family. What's good with you? Peace, brother, peace. Greetings. Peace to the God, peace. Yes, indeed. Look, man, it's one of them amazing Sunday afternoons. What's the ether saying to me today? Ether's wanted me to tap in and do a wellness check on everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on in the world. So just wanted to make sure that, everybody's in the right headspace. I don't think I've been in the internet since Kendrick dropped. You know what I'm saying? So we did have a moment in hip hop over the weekend, over the strong end for that matter. I did see that the album came in at 44 minutes, registering another milestone notch in his 44 year. I think that was dope. Yes, we good, God, preparing for the new year. I love to hear that. The days of 24 are winding down as we quickly approach 25. Me and Red did a lecture the other day, and the theme of it was, are you going to focus on Project 2025 or are you going to focus on 2025 projections? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to focus on your projections? Are you going to utilize that mental headspace? Are you going to utilize your mental aptitude? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to utilize your mental fortitude to think about what you want to project into the new year? Or are you going to think about what the fear projection is? You feel me? And again, it's always vital. It's always key to stay prepared so you don't have to get prepared at the last moment. So I'm not wavering off and saying there's no need or no use to ask questions or be, what's the word that you be mindful, right, of the things that are being said about this incoming administration and their plans. But at the same time, you have to remain focused into your plans. You have to remain steadfast and not waver, you know what I mean? And not be distracted by the distractions. What are your 2025 projections look like? You feel me? These are the things that should be established at this particular point in time, right? The days are waning on the remaining days of this year. We're moving into 2025, and we need a 2025 game plan, individualistically and collectively. You know what I'm saying? We need a 2025 game plan because, once again, we're moving into an amazing point in time, an amazing period of time. Solar maximum 25, right? We're moving into an era and an epoch cosmically that's going to be very beneficial to our personal upgrade, right? And our collective upgrade for those that are fully tapped in to this cosmic opportunity to level up, right? And of course, I feel that what better way to end the year but to get a 44-minute offering from the good brother Kendrick? You know what I'm saying? What better way to end the year to put a proclamation point on the ending of the year? The only thing I feel that he was missing, he should have had it narrated by Cat Williams or something like that. That'd have been crazy. You know what I'm saying? That'd have been a perfect punctuation. And I'm reading people's reviews. People have mixed reviews, right? And I don't know if people have the capacity in them to just appreciate a good piece of art. You know what I mean? And dropping unexpectedly is the new release, right? That's how you do what you do. This is a person who already got you very used and accustomed to the way that he releases content. He did it during the battle, but he's still in battle mode. I don't think it makes a difference to this an entire project. Yes, rewriting the devil's story was crazy work. You feel me? The way that he approached that track, just the sheer genius of it, you know, Reincarnation was an epic piece of written work, you know, and the people don't know we're speaking to, we're speaking about Kendrick Lamar's latest release, and one of the tracks in particular called Reincarnated, you know, the brother, you know, he took it to another level. All right. If you will, I will read some of these lyrics, you know what I mean? And then we can spin it back. Isaiah 14. My present life is Kendrick Lamar, a rapper looking at the lyrics to keep you in awe. The only fact I respected was raising the bar. My instincts sent material straight to the charts, huh? My father kicked me out of the house. I finally forgive him. I'm old enough to understand the way I was living. Ego and pride had me looking at him with resentment. I close my eyes hoping that I don't come off contentious. I'm yelling, Father, did I finally get it right? Everything I did was selfless. I spoke freely when the people needed me. I helped them. I didn't gloat, even told them no when the vultures came. Took control of my fleshy body when the money changed. Son, you do well, but your heart is closed. I can tell residue that lingers from your past creates a cell. Father, I'm not perfect. I got urges, but I hold them down. But your pride has to die. Okay, Father, show me how. Woo. Look, shout out to Ransom. He had a song on an album he just put out with Conway. It was a Ransom and Conway joint album. He had a similar track where he was conversing back to back with the devil, and it was profound, right? Father, I'm not perfect. I got urges, but I hold them down. But your pride has to die. Okay, Father, show me how. Tell me every deed that you done and what you do it for. I kept 100 institutions paid. Okay, tell me more. I put 100 hoods on one stage. Okay, tell me more. I'm trying to push peace in LA, but you love war. No, I don't. Oh, yes, you do. Okay, then tell them the truth. Tell me the truth. Every individual is only a version of you. How can they forgive when there's no forgiveness in your heart? I could tell you where I'm going. I could tell you who you are. You fell out of heaven because you was anxious. Didn't like authority, only searched to be heinous. Isaiah 14 was the only thing that was prevalent. My greatest music director was you. It was colors, it was pinks, it was reds, it was blues, it was harmony and motion. I sent you down to earth because you was broken. Rehabilitation, not psychosis. But now we know, but no, we here now. Centuries you manipulated man with music, embodied you as superstars to see how you moving. You came a long way from garnishing evilish views. All I ever wanted to do was loving. All I ever wanted from you was love and approval. I learned a lot. No more putting these people in fear. The more that word is diminished, the more it's not real. The more light that I can capture, the more I can feel. I'm using words for inspiration as an idea. So can you promise that you won't take your gifts for granted? I promise that I use my gifts to bring understanding for every man, woman, and child. How much can you vow? I vow my life just to live one in harmony now. You crushed a lot of people keeping their thoughts in captivity, and I'm ashamed that I ever created that enemy. Then let's rejoice where we at. I rewrote the devil's story just to take our power back. Carnated. Now, mind you, I'm doing this in my own flow, but you know, the brother Kendrick chose to embody the energy and the spirit of Tupac, you know what I'm saying, Machiavelli. And that's kind of the angle that he came from. And it's just a profound piece of written work, you know what I mean? It kind of puts him in that same Pulitzer Prize winning category, you feel me? yeah, it's definitely a profound piece of written work. The two verses prior were definitely epic. You know what I'm saying? And I think like now that we can have, he wasn't Jimi Hendrix on that verse. John Lee Hooker, possibly, or the brother who used to play the guitar who was at the crossroads and met the devil. I forget his name. Or is that John Lee Hooker? All right, we'll spin it back. But yeah, profound pieces of poetry. You know what I mean? The brother is a natural with his pen. You know what I'm saying? The way that he went in, it was just unprecedented. Peace to you. The woman that he had in the prior life, it could have been Billie Holiday. Yeah, Kendrick is definitely consistent with the red wave that came sweeping, right? Robert Johnson, right? Right? The saxophone player that was at the crossroads. Now, I had wrote a very controversial piece recently. I wonder if I could share with you if we grown enough to have a real conversation. Didn't meet their fulfillment musically as Kendrick has reconciled what they didn't do in their past. Okay, I could dig that as well. You know, the fact that, you know, he's such a lyricist and an artist that he will write something that we would be scrambling to find definition to that's somewhat undefined, so he can leave a window open. Okay, I'm gonna share it. It's called Silence of the Lambs, right? And again, you know, just like I do every Sunday when we do Sunday service over here, we ask very controversial questions and we dig a little bit deeper because the concept that we have been fed about God is a very complex one. You know, we have our personal relationships with the Creator, but if we're to go according to the narrative that has been force-fed us, you know, those narratives only create more questions because they're very complex, they're very convoluted, and if I'm listening with my inner ear, you're telling me something totally different than what it is that I'm reading because I'm using my logic and I'm putting shit together and I'm like, none of this really adds up. So when I write my poetry, you know, it kind of comes from that place. So this is called Silence of the Lambs, right? You want to be Christ-like, but the nightlife got you hostage. We all want to be messianic. Let's be honest. That's a messy promise. Unfulfilled. Everyone got killed. There was 5 Neos before Mr. Anderson, and they all left in the ambulance. Holy Grail tipped over. Blood spilled. What's the deal? Is God a punk for sending his son to fight a fate his daddy was ducking from? They sent his fucking son back in a body bag, body tag till the day of judgment come. This devil is a one of one. He got to be God's illest creation, built up a nation. He killed every mason they sent to build up a way and spreading the good news like Paul in Galatians. Since days of ancient, they've silenced all the lambs, stalled all the plans, killed every statement from the messengers. Now they no longer get mentioned, so much for divine intervention. But meanwhile, God's blessing all the trap niggas. And all you want to do is at niggas, all up in their mentions, for telling it like it is. For Christ to live, the lights are dim, and darkness engulfs the righteousness. They snipes don't miss. They like grown kids, home alone shit, sick up in they dome shit, but they got some of the biggest home shit. While we over here basking in the light, still lacking things of life that makes you a master in this life, but asked to give advice. Late on the mortgage, trying to save the aborted, twisted and contorted for walking a straight line. And vampires and blades parade during the daytime. They got masses on lines to waste time, casting votes when they should be casting spells. The system whack as hell, but blacks still rebel against the blacks who tell the truth to shame the devil. Blame yourself, never blame the devil. You're not a victim. Admit you fell prey to the system. They living rent-free in your head. You need to evict them. That goes for organized religion, all the guys that spitting to normalize the bitching, the porn supplies the vixens, your daughter's eyes is twitching, the stitching coming loose, the fabric of society, the liars be running for office maniacally, orange hair men in orange jumper suits run the troops, and you want me to go quietly? Yeah, so that's a conversation that I needed to have with the big homie because shit don't be adding up. So I appreciate the artistic integrity when an artist is really pushing the envelope like a Kendrick Lamar. Yes, thank you. And hopefully, we can get back to bars being where they need to be. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna record this. You know what I'm saying? I ask a lot of, I make it real, it gets kind of crazy. So I want to make sure that I'm being respectful. Because these are some pointed questions that are posed. And again, if I'm listening to what religion is telling me, and we're in 2025, we're going to be going into this whole religious revival conversation, a situation again. So you're going to be hearing about religion a lot. And we have every right to take back the conversation. We have every right to own the conversation. I do not want a form of Christianity overbearing on me that comes from the colonizer. You know what I'm saying? We need to have a conversation through our own lens and understanding of where we stand in this dynamic if they're forcing religion on us. Where do we fit? And what part of the conversation is ours? You know what I mean? And what are we going to do to take it back and to own it? So I seen Red just popped in here. I'll share it again because I wanted the brother to hear it. You know what I'm saying? He don't get to hear too much of my stuff that I got on my that I keep bottled up. But Red, I was explaining, that I was reading that last verse that Kendrick wrote on Reincarnated, and I remember that the brother Ransom put a verse out where he was having a conversation with the devil on a project that him and Conway put out a few months ago. And these conversations about religion and God and Christianity and our relationship with our Creator are going to be prevalent ones. And my thing is, how can they be your God and their God at the same time? Like, none of that makes sense. So these very hard conversations that we're having, with our creative higher self, our, the Godhead, the being, the dynamic is going to come down to whose God is your God, Is your God their God or your God? And how can you prove it? Is your God showing up for you or is it showing up for your opponent? People always was like, where was God during slavery? How could there be a God to the master and the slave? Like, how could he pick? When the Sunni and the Shiite go to war, how can Allah make a differentiation? Where's Allah in Gaza? Right? So this is the spiritual war that you're seeing taking place there. People are not speaking of. This is the clash of the titans. One person's God is beating up on another person's God by way of beating up on the people. Yes, like the American God series. Yeah, you're going to have to prove your God. So, if I was to be if there was a fear of a black or more Messiah, wouldn't our version of Christ be an antichrist to them? Because they're saying that their Christ is Trump. And that's going to be an antichrist to some people and a Christ to others. So those dynamics can simultaneously exist. Right? So Red, I had shared this piece that I wrote. It's called Silence of the Lambs. And again, it's just like a foray into my mind, asking some very difficult questions when I'm making these observations. It said you want to be Christ, and people want to be messianic, but that's a messy promise. Like, look what happens to the messiahs, as opposed to look what happens to the bad guys. Look what happens to the villains in the movies. They get in their own TV series. Not only are they So would our version of Christ be an antichrist to the system? You want to be Christ-like, but the nightlife got you hostage. We all want to be messianic, but let's be honest, that's a messy promise, unfulfilled. Everyone got killed. There was 5 Neos before Mr. Anderson, and they all left in an ambulance. Holy Grail tipped over, blood spilled. What's the deal? Is God a punk for sending his son to fight a fate his daddy was ducking from? They sent his fucking son back in the body bag, body tag to the day of judgment come. This devil is a one of one. He got to be God's illest creation. He built up a nation, killed every mason, sent to build up a way and spreading the good news like Paul in Galatians. Since days of ancient, they've silenced all the lambs, stalled all the plans, killed every statement from the messengers. Now they no longer get mentioned, so much for divine intervention. But meanwhile, God's blessing all the trap niggas. And you want to act niggas all up in your mentions for telling it like it is. For Christ to live, the lights are dim, and darkness and ghosts to righteousness. They snipes don't miss. They like grown kids, home alone shit, sick up in they dome shit, but they got some of the biggest home shit. While we over here basking in the light, still lacking things of life that makes you a master in this life, but acts to give advice. Late on the mortgage, trying to save the aborted, twisted and contorted for walking a straight line, and vampires and blades parade during the daytime. They got masters on lines to waste time, casting votes when they should be casting spells. The system whack as hell, but blacks still rebel against the blacks who tell the truth to shame the devil. Blame yourself, never blame the devil. You're not a victim. Admit you fell prey to the system. They living rent-free in your head and you need to victim. That goes for organized religion. All the guys are spitting to normalize the bitching. The porn supplies the vixens. Your daughter's eyes is twitching. The stitching's coming loose. The fabric of society. The liars be running for office maniacally. Orange hair men in orange jumper suits run the troops. And you want me to go quietly? Orange-haired men in orange jumper suits run the troops. Think about that. Orange-haired men in orange jumper suits run the troops. So, yeah, 2025 is going to be very interesting to say the least. Right? And I'll give y'all one more. If God exists, why worship politics? I'm speaking to all God and goddesses, the prophets and the prophetess. You need your optics fixed. Everything ain't what it seems. Oculus. Why avoid the obvious? They work for lobbyists, trapped in the box, roddy rich, laughter gun stop. Politics is warfare without bloodshed. The poor share enough stress, but don't get a share in the success. Work like dogs, but the lion's share go to execs who get perks like God, splurge the cards, and if they get in dirt with fraud, their white collar lands them in club fed. Slap on the wrist, get back to the mix. Crony capitalists, rough sex with sadomasochists, democratic whips, MAGA chicks with plastic dicks, getting physical with liberal activists. It's all an acting bit. They don't call it political theater because it lacks the shit. These theatrics mixed with media magic tricks got the people under spells, the walking dead off the ledge, some under hell until the sun prevails. You're going to have to wait for the rapture. In the meantime, what's the use of hating on MAGA? They got their one sprung from jail and made him a master. He entered as an apprentice, but on his third run became relentless. Now, let me share this with y'all, because this might go like over your head. You might have missed this one, right? But shout out to the people who came to the lecture on Friday on the 22nd. You know what I'm saying? We gave y'all a lot of gifts, a lot of treats. I wanted to share this one with the family though, because they might have missed it. I'm almost sure that they did. So when you talking about like, man, how can I even say it? I'm pardon me, y'all. I'm looking for something on my phone, and then my higher mind is speaking to me. It's like, chill, son. You're doing too much. And I'm like, I just wanted to share this with them, though. They like, nah, son. Everything ain't for everyone at every time. Just chill. Yeah, I'm gonna let that live. But at the same time, yeah, man, it's gonna be wild, interesting going forward. Feel me? And we got to be mindful of the layout of what's being laid out. And I don't want to come across, never want to come across like we fear mongering. But it's just imperative to just like be on your A game. You know what I'm saying? Step to your business and like tighten up. You feel me? Tighten up, you know? And just really just get your priorities situated, because you're not gonna have a lot of time to play with and waste. Like, things are gonna be accelerated. They're gonna happen at a fast pace, and you definitely wanna, you know what I mean. You wanna be in the race with the pace. You don't want to be outpaced or outraced. You feel me? And you're gonna have to be able to move with the glide and the stride. You're going to have to be able to move with the glide and the stride. You know, and we're excited for this upcoming cycle of 2025, right? Because we really have the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to tap into this solar frequency, this renewed solar energy that is going to be bombarding this planet. At the same time, when your value is going to be simultaneously diminished by people talking crazy to you, telling you that you ain't the one, you know what I'm saying, making all types of jokes about you. You feel me? Because, yeah, Christian nationalism is going to be at an all-time high, which means white nationalism is going to be at an all-time high. And they can't feel a particular way about themselves and unless you feel a particular way about yourself, right? In order for that lie to live, the truth has to be diminished, right? But you're going to have to go in your bag. You're going to have to tap into this energy. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to power up. You're going to have to get into your super sapient self. You're going to have to be unapologetic about it as well. You're going to have to not look to no one else for permission, but give yourself the permission to step into that space and that place. You're going to have to not bow down and kiss the ring. You're not going to have to, you shouldn't kowtow, right, to whatever the prevalent program is for you to acquiesce and to get under their deodorant. You're going to have to be your own man, your own woman, your own God, your own goddess. You feel me? If God exists, why worship politics? I'm speaking to all God and goddesses, the prophets and the prophetess. You need your optics fixed. Everything ain't what it seems. Oculus. Why avoid the obvious? They work for lobbyists. Trapped in a box. Roddy Rich. Like, come on. Snap out of it. You feel me? Come back to your senses. You know? It's things that we are indelibly responsible for. And even really like looking at politics and looking at the way that things are headed, you feel me? There is there's education involved. So what never will be a reality is our people disengage from the system. That's just never gonna happen. So we also want to overemphasize, being advocates for people who are within the system, that they should be positioning themselves to be a power player to some degree in that position. And, you know, when you looked at the political landscape, when you looked at the presidential results of the political landscape that was created, they broke everything down to counties. You know what I'm saying? Not so much swing states. The swing states cracked down more so to counties, not so much cities, counties, right? Which comprise cities. So at a county level, if you are politically active or you want to engage in politics, you know, you really have to look at a local level, at a county level. And that's where we can consolidate some form of power, you feel me, to put things in motion, right? Where they're most accessible and when you can touch them the easiest. So that's your aldermen, councilmen, sheriffs, right? District attorneys, you know, those positions that are going to make the most impact on your immediate county because they are minimizing the functionality of the federal government, especially with the Doge office, right? They're cutting down on budgets to send the power back to the states. Education may potentially end back in the hands of the states. And what does that potentially look like? It can end up back in the hands of the states, and the states say, it's incumbent upon y'all to teach our children. And in a state like the state that we're in right now, Georgia is the leading candidates in homeschooling. So you can end up with the thing that you've been looking for all along, and this goofy ass administration is coming forward because a lot of stuff is going to be falling off the side of the table. And if you are in position to utilize it strategically in a particular way, then you can ride the wave, or you can get out of it what's going to be accessible and available, right? You a card carrying member anyway. Get the benefits of it. You just got to learn how to play this game, because goddamn it, it's a game. And if it has showed you nothing else, my nigga, you should be given that, obviously. It's a game. You know what I'm saying? And you got to play the game. But you got to be a little bit more astute what was taking place in order to play the game and ride the wave in a way that you can get something from it. And granted, if America has fallen, what position does it put you in? Like, where are you at in that dynamic? Is it falling on you? Did it fall beside you? Did you sidestep the fall? Are you going to capitalize from the restructuring after the fall or the demo job during the fall? Like, I'm just, I just want to be real with the fact that a lot of our people are still tethered to the system. So if we're not middle fingering our people and there's still some level of redress that we want to offer, then we got to speak directly to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They got a brother up in there, Now they're going to put him over the HUD, which is Housing and Urban Development. I think that Ben Carson was over that particular agency at one point, right? But the HUD agency is connected to FEMA, right? So the allocation of funds for federal disaster relief, that comes directly from HUD, from what I understand. You know what I mean? Not everybody, is into politics, and people don't care for it, and that's cool. But for those that are looking with an open eye, at the administration and trying to figure things out, or trying to telegraph where things may potentially be headed, if they want to put themselves in a strategic position, these are the happenings of what's going on, right? He's picking a very liberal cabinet. And one of the things that people from our community specifically are the most excited about is the potential appointment of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and his shakeup of the health department and the FDA and those institutions that sit over, you know, the multi-trillion dollar, that multi-trillion dollar health industry, right? That's run by the medical mafia at this particular time. And somebody said DC is silent right now. It's eerie. Yeah, there's a revolution coming, a bloodless one, but a bloody one nonetheless. And again, there's going to be so much upheaval from so many things getting turned inside out that you got to figure out how to pick up whatever falls to the ground and boogie with it. You know what I'm saying? And benefit from that. Because if you're dependent, if you know, your sustaining and sustenance has been somewhat depending on the federal government, that may potentially come to an end. You know what I mean? And again, they're going to send a lot of the power back to the states so the states can operate in their sovereign capacity, and it's going back to a republic, right? But again, that may give you the ability to operate autonomously in that jurisdiction if you know what you're doing. So you can kick into homeschooling. You know what I'm saying? Your paperwork might slide through a little bit easier. You know. So yeah, they're going back to the republic of which we stand. But for the family, I'll run this little commercial real quick. I got this ebook that I put together, and the ebook is definitely going into routines and regimens, right, to get us tapped into our goal body, which ultimately is going to prepare you for your diamond body. Because bar none, regardless of what's going on at any given time, we need to be trained up, you know what I'm saying? Not just prayed up, but we need to be trained up and ready to go for whatever life throws our way. But it's a beautiful thing because you vicariously getting ready for tomorrow will prepare you for forever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you'll live forever, but I think that, you know, our goal is not only to elongate our days on this earth, right? It's not only longevity, it is also the pedigree of the life that we're living while we prolong life. You know what I'm saying? So this book kind of lays out beginning routines, 30-day starter pack, right, to get people started with fitness and the quote unquote the meal plans. I laid out the meal plans in here, and I gave two different versions because not everybody is plant-based, not everybody is alkaline. So I did a whole breakdown for the people that gravitate more so towards the Sabi diet, right? I gave them a whole alkaline meal plan. And then for the people who are a little bit more looser with their restrictions, you know, vegans or vegetarians and stuff like that, but you still might eat this, that, or the other. Like, you still might eat broccoli. You still might eat the hybrids and stuff, right? And let me say this, because somebody asked a key question. Does the ebook speak about helping to lose weight as opposed to gaining weight? I shared my journey. My journey was a journey of gaining lean muscle. So the emphasis more so was on that. Somebody said, how long you think Sabi would have lived if not put in that situation he was in Honduras? Easily into his 90s. You know what I'm saying? Easily into his 90s. I never recall Sabi speaking, you know, about wanting to live into his hundreds or anything of that nature. You know what I mean? His mother was still alive at the time. I think she transitioned right before he made transition, but his mother had lived past her 90s. you know. But it was no telling with Sabi. That I can't really tell. There were so many near deaths. There were so many rumors about Sabi's transition from like 2006 leading up to 2016 when he transitioned that it kind of took the steam out of it already. Miss Jones used to always report it on Hot 97 for some reason. I was like, that's weird as hell. But yeah. So this is a Goal Body Challenge ebook that, again, I put together 42 pages full of information that can be found via the link in my bio. I have it up on Gumroad, right? And you can get it via the link in the bio. It's a great offering. I'm not a trainer, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not necessarily giving you training advice. I'm sharing with you the processes that I implemented to successfully reach my goals. This is going to get you started. And you can, you can find you a trainer. You can find you somebody who is more acclimated to whatever your fitness journey specifically wants to be. But at least this is a good start, to get you going. And again, a lot of people, they asked about the food and the meal. And again, I was very forthright that my journey wasn't 100% plant-based either. It was more like 80% plant-based and 20% non-plant-based, right? This don't mean that you can't achieve your goals being 100% plant-based. That's just not how I chose to execute this particular journey. You feel me? I hope that don't get me kicked out the whip. But yeah, it's a beginning course. It's a 30-day starter pack. And then we have a high intense training for beginners and intermediaries, right? I don't have anything specific to people who are like elite athletes and going all the way in. I haven't put anything together for that as of yet. Also shared the supplements that I've utilized during this journey to, help get me where I'm at, right? And also the formula of going to sleep at a particular time. That bar none, melanin, mycelium, monatomic, and moss in the morning. You feel me? These are the mixtures of the things that I utilized on an empty stomach to go in the gym and do what I did. You feel me? So, again, just sharing as requested because people have been asking me repeatedly about what did I do? How did I get it done? And I did, I want to go back to the question that was asked about the weight loss. Weight loss is going to deal with dietary disciplines as well. It's going to also deal with getting your body back into a circadian rhythm, which means just going to sleep at a particular time so your digestive system can work properly, right? But you're going to have to implement cardio in your routine. And I would say follow the same high intense training, just put cardio at the end of it, right? Once the body's already in a catatonic state, implement the cardio. You feel me? Heavy on the cardio if that's what you're looking to do in terms of lose weight. Yes. But I didn't create anything that was specific to that. Okay? Let me yes indeed. I want to read one more of these bars off of the good brother Kendrick's album. In terms of writing, it was a masterpiece, right? It was definitely a written masterpiece. He's going to get a Pulitzer. Hey Now? Nah, I didn't. I wasn't going for Hey Now. Reincarnated Man at the Garden. Man at the Garden. I think that was the joint over the one mic sample. I mean, it wasn't the one mic sample. It was the one mic interpolation. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But he made, that one mic track homage. Yes. Twice emotionally stability of sound body and tranquility. I deserve it all. Like minds and less enemies. Stock investments, more entities. I deserve it all. VVS's white diamonds. GNX with the seat back reclining. Bitch, I deserve it all. Put my homes on the beachfront, flying private. What you eat for lunch? I deserve it all. The respect and the accolades. Lamping on the island, watching Castaway. I deserve it all. For every good nigga that passed away. Sent 2.5 million on the average day. I deserve it all. Keep my name by the world leaders. Keep my crowds loud inside Ibiza. I deserve it all. More money, more power, more freedom. Everything heaven allowed us. Bitch, I deserve it all. I deserve it all. Yeah, so, he gave us another mantra. You feel me? He gave us another mantra to walk with. Because my intention was pure, even when you wasn't pure. Even with every allure, how much temptation you endured, you probably look for every cure. I said I deserve it all. I'm waking up at 6 a.m., 6 miles a day, conditioning my wind. I said I deserve it all. I'm showing up as your friend, telling truths better than your next of kin. I said I deserve it all. I never asked for too much credit, seeking validation just for the aesthetics. Bitch, I deserve it all. I see you as a human first, even when you didn't understand your worth. Bitch, I deserve it all. It's innate to mind my business, written words trying to elevate these children. That's why I deserve it all. Pray for those who prayed against me. Every reason why my ancestors sent me. Bitch, I deserve it all. Put a smile on my mama, good health and good karma. Yes, she deserves it all. 100 murals out in Compton. Remember me, I kept my promise. Yeah, we deserve it all. A better life for my daughter. Made my son take it further than his father. Yeah, he deserves it all. A close relationship with God. Whisper to me every time I close my eyes. He say, you deserve it all. Keep these bitch niggas away from me. Keep all blessings faithfully. Keep my essence contagious. That's okay with me. I burn this bitch down. You don't play with me or stay with me. I'm crashing out right now. No one's safe with me. I did it with integrity. Niggas still try to hate on me. Just wait and see. More blood be spilling. It's just paint to me. Dangerously. Nothing changed with me. Still got pain in me. Flip a coin. What, the shameless me or the famous me? How annoying does it anger me to know the lames can speak on the origins of the game I breathe? That's insane to me. It's important. I deserve it all because it's mine. Tell me what you think. You deserve the greatest of all time, mother. Yeah. Yeah. I deserve it all. I deserve it all. So, that last verse, that verse 3 of One Mic, when Nas starts wilding. Lost too many times. I'm stuck with a couple of pins. Too many drive little pieces. Yeah. This was an amazing way to pay homage, to his heroes. And if we take a look, right, a little bit deeper, we can see that his drops wasn't by themselves. On Friday, it was a whole West Coast drop. Snoop dropped, right? He overshadowed all of them. He eclipsed them. Ice Cube dropped the album. Okay. Snoop and Ice Cube and Dr. Dre dropped albums. You feel me? J. Cole dropped his mixtape, the very first one, put it back on streaming that day. But let's go back to the West Coast, right? Let's go back to the West Coast. Ice-T dropped Body Count, right? All of the legends, all of the West Coast legends out the gate on Friday. Nobody speaks about the totality. Put it in this perspective. You know what I'm saying? This brother came with a 44-minute offering and kind of eclipsed all of his predecessors. You don't even hear about them, right? They're not even putting it in the proper context to report to you the story the way that it's supposed to be reported. Shame on hip-hop journalism. But yeah, all of these projects dropped. Ice Cube dropped an entire album. Man down. You know what I'm saying? Snoop and Dre dropped a single off of their upcoming album, Missionary. Right? So, yeah, you know, this brother did something very unprecedented in terms of, Larry June dropped too. I rocks with Larry June. Larry June dropped a project. Larry June crazy with it. And like I said, J. Cole's first mixtape got dropped on streaming, ironically, the same day. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the brother didn't drop in a vacuum. He really represents a West Coast resurgence, and it almost feels like he's fighting a war on his own, because I don't even see his people holding him down like that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just really gotta pop out of show niggas and do it on your own. You feel me? Especially when you feel like you deserve it all. What do I think about? I don't think Lil Wayne threw a shot. Oh, word. JT dropped the album full of beats. Shout out to JT. Right? The bigger figure. Yeah, the Ice Cube album got some gems in it. I heard most of it. You know what I'm saying? Stupid them ain't talking about nothing. And that again, the backdrop of it just makes it look so silly and retarded. You know what I'm saying? That these grown-ass rappers, 20, 30 years in the game, you know, they still putting music out, but it amounts to next to nothing. It ain't even on the low. they not jealous of him on the low. It's in open, and that's what he's speaking on. You feel me? It's in the open. It's in the wide open. Everybody can see it. So, salute to that brother, you know what I mean, for shaking the game up, standing on business, and putting out, you know what I mean, a masterful piece of work. Yo, come on, speak. What's good, God? Kamal, I was sharing some poetry with them today. I know that would make you proud. Yeah, Kamal is one of the biggest advocates for my pen. You know what I'm saying? He was stressing me to get that pen work outside. I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I've been seeing my brother Kamal, he's been putting up some of his poetry. I've been reposting it. He's been getting in front of them crowds and spitting. And, you know, going forward, I think that there's going to be a lot more of that, a lot more artistic expression. You know, people are going to be sharing their thoughts more, I would envision. And I'm going to be right there with them. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I get inspired, you know, when the artists drop. And I get inspired, I go and write. Or I look at my stuff and I be like, my stuff's supposed to be out there as well. Not hating, just saying, you know. Get your work out. Get it outside. So, come on, this for you. I'm going to share this one. If God exists, why worship politics? I'm speaking to all gods and goddesses, the prophets and the prophetess. You need your optics fixed. Everything ain't what it seems. Oculus. Why avoid the obvious? They work for lobbyists. Trapped in a box, rowdy rich. Laughter gonna stop. Politics is warfare without bloodshed. The poor share enough stress, but don't get a share in the success. Work like dogs, but the lion's share go to execs. who get perks like God, splurge their cards, and if they get in dirt with fraud, their white collar lands them in club fed. Slap on the wrist, get back to the mix, crony capitalists, rough sex with sadomasochists, democratic whips, MAGA chicks with plastic dicks, getting physical with liberal activists. It's all an acting bit. They don't call it political theater because it lacks the shit. These theatrics mixed with media magic tricks got the people under spells, the walking dead off the ledge, some under hell until the sun prevails. You're going to have to wait for the rapture. In the meantime, what's the use of hating on MAGA? They got their one sprung from jail and made him a master. He entered as an apprentice and on his third run became relentless, right? He came in the game as an entered apprentice. He entered as an apprentice and on his third run became a worshipful master. Do you see what they just did to y'all, right? With the Red Lodge and the Red House? It went over your head? Choo. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. They put that worshipful master on you. Now everybody got to kiss the ring. So you're going to need to couch yourself in art in order to protect your expression and not end up on the list. You know what I'm saying? You want to come under the cover of art, of artistry. Because, there's a lot that needs to be said and we're going to have to say it. It's going to be left to us. So yeah, Kamal, book me up for some of them spoken word joints. I'm ready to come outside. I got material. I need to talk to these people. I need to talk to them. They tweaking. But they said that they want some bars. So, yeah. We need to get some of these bars outside. Put it in front of these people. Get what they need. Thank you, Kamal. I pay homage to you. I love your delivery. I love your intensity. I love your flow. You know what I'm saying? Every word is legible. You know what I mean? Every word is audible. You feel me? Every punch lands. That brother Kamal is one of my favorite poets. And he know it. Because I let him, I affirm that with him when I see him. You know what I mean? And I want him to continue to push the ball forward. Does amazing work, right? So I've been honored to share the stage with the good brother. Salute. Right, but the world needs more. They need more commentary right now. People are confused. You know what I'm saying? And they need commentary. They need the assistance of word, sound, power to help them make sense of some of the things that they're looking at and going through, So with that, I want to say salute to K-Dot for playing his part, and giving some people some bars, some things to inspire you to get back into your writing mode. Express yourself during these times. Do not let the pressure of these times crush you. You know what I'm saying? Reincarnate yourself with your pen. And until next time, my friends, my thing is counting down. Kamala, I will bring you in, but I got a minute left. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to tap out. Been on here for an hour. I appreciate y'all. Peace, love, and light. All right, do something magnanimous today. Grab that ebook. The link is in the bio. Gold Body Challenge. Peace.